Today's episode of the Outline Podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering one free audiobook and 30 days free to the listeners of the Outline Podcast. You can redeem this by going to www.audibletrial.com/outlinepod. Once again, that's www.audibletrial.com/outlinepod. Let's start the show.
The outline, with Kevin Dwayne, the outline, with Kevin Dwayne, this is the outline, with Kevin Dwayne, Kevin Dwayne, with Kevin Dwayne.
What's going on, you guys? It's The Outline, and I am Kevin Dwayne. Thank you for joining me for another show. I hope you guys enjoyed your Christmas. I ended up having a very nice and efficient Christmas. I know on last week's show, I talked about how I wasn't really in the Christmas spirit, but it came around. The day before, I listened to some Christmas music. I watched a couple Christmas movies, did the usual things. My cousin, she had a Christmas party on Christmas Eve. Actually, I'm sorry, it was the 23rd, so it was the day before Christmas Eve, so on Saturday. So went over there, fellowship with people, had great food. She had vegan options for me. Shout out to Jasmine for that. Listen, with being vegan, I don't expect people to do things for me. I stress that so much because I don't want people to feel like they have to change what they do for me. I always prepare. So the fact that she had some options for me at her party meant everything to me. So I truly thank you, Jasmine, for doing that. I thanked her in person. That was amazing. So got to see people I haven't seen in a while, see people's children. That's so odd to me right now. Getting older and seeing people's children grow up and the fact that they have children. And one thing about aging, and I say that very lightly because I'm only 31, but the thing about getting older is realizing that time goes by so fast. And sometimes we mentally still feel like those high schoolers. Yes, things have happened that mature us. We go through adult shit, but it's hard to believe that high school and college wasn't yesterday, and you move further and further away from it. If you are blessed and grateful to continue living on the earth, you're going to get older. But holidays is when you see that. You see people with their families and their children and their grandchildren. Luckily, none of my friends have grandchildren. Like I said, we're only in our 30s. I don't think anyone is close to that yet. Maybe closer to 40, people will start having grandchildren and stuff, but I'm not wishing that on anybody just yet. But yeah, that was great. And that definitely got me in a more Christmas-based mood. So the next day, I watched a few more Christmas movies and wrapped gifts. I also did a quick road trip with, well, it wasn't really that quick. Hollywood Mike, who was on the show, and also Raven, who was on the show. Raven went to Florida to be with his family. So Mike and I rode out to Savannah. Mike drove. I was just there for support. I rode the back seat just to be the in-house entertainment and just to have good conversation. We rode out to Savannah and dropped Raven off to his family so he can be with them for Christmas. And that was fun. It was a nice little moment to get on the road. We left at like 11 a.m. and Mike and I got back to Atlanta at 5:20 p.m. Mike was hitting it on the way back. Like, the GPS said we would get back at 5:41. He was like, okay, bitch, bet. And he shaved off 20-some minutes from the drive. Like, Mike does not play on the road. Charles doesn't play either. Like, they both drive so crazy. I mean, they get you there in one piece, but you definitely are like, man, like, they do not play with GPS. They always race it. And it's hilarious. But he shaved time off. So I came back home, had some dinner, chilled, wrapped my gifts. And on Christmas Day, the same cousin hosted a Christmas brunch. She just got her house this year, so it's so awesome to go to her place for these family situations. Now, I've gone to her place before on Thanksgiving and on Christmas and stuff with our own little tradition, but to have like the entire family come over now, it's really dope, and I'm happy for this transition of new traditions and things like that. So that was great. Went to Christmas brunch like 11 a.m. Once again, had vegan options for me. Of course, there's always fruit and oatmeal and things like that that I can have, coffee. She made me but it was a blueberry casserole situation. It kind of worked out like a bread pudding. It was really delicious though. It was good. And great time, got some cool gifts. Her mom got me this planner that says vegan as fuck on it, and I love it so much. She also got me a vegan cookbook. I got some workout clothes. I also got this little beer tasting set that you have for like parties. So if you have people over, you all can like have shots of beer and like rate it and talk about the things that you like about it and stuff like that. So I'm like, that's kind of cool for my beer drinkers out there. I'm not a huge beer drinker, but I will do it for the sake of the game. So I think that'll be really, really fun. So shout out to my friends. If you guys want to have a beer tasting thing at my house, let's do it. I think it'll be fun. So we were done with Christmas brunch by about 2 o'clock. I was back at my house by 3 on my couch drinking a beer because my cousin also gave me a full case of Stella that she was trying to get rid of. She was like, you can have the whole thing. I'm like, well, girl, damn, I was asked for a couple of them, but she gave me all of them. So I have tons of Stella in my refrigerator right now. So I was chilling, drinking beer, watching more Christmas movies, The Family Stone, which is one of my favorite Christmas movies. It's, it's realistic. It's good. Sarah Jessica Parker, Rachel McAdams, and Claire Danes. Some other big names in there too. Brian White, and on and on and on and on. So watch that. And I was in bed pretty early. I've been going to bed early lately. Like 8:30, I'm out on my couch. I usually wake up, take my contacts out, and put them and get right back into bed and sleep until the next day. So what I wanted to do before the new year was clean my apartment. So I spent all day of the 26th, which was yesterday, if you're listening to this now on Wednesday. I spent all day cleaning my apartment. I thought that I was just going to sort through some clothes. And you know how you get that cleaning spirit that just falls on you and you just keep going? Like you think you're going to do one thing, then it becomes another and another and another. That's exactly what happened. I told myself that I was going to clean my apartment throughout the week. I was going to pick a room and just work on that and then do another room the next day, do another room the next day. That way I wouldn't exhaust myself or be over it and not want to do it at all. So I said yesterday, the first day of my vacation outside of the holiday, I was going to just do my bedroom. I was going to sort clothes in my closet and take them to Goodwill, because I've not sorted through my clothes since I've lived in Atlanta. Like, have not touched them at all. So I have clothes that I brought here from California. So I went through, I cleared my entire closet out. I had so many clothes that I haven't worn in years, clothes that I can't fit anymore. I gave away, there were 3 large bags and 3 jackets and some shoes when I was done. It had to be about 30 shirts, like button-ups and polos and regular shirts, and then about 11 pairs of pants, jeans, shorts, slacks that were size 36, which was the biggest I had ever been. I'm between a 31 and 32. Shout out to it. I'm so excited. So I got rid of all that stuff. My closet was empty when I was done. But to be fair, I had clothes in hampers and stacked up that I've washed that I never hung up. So I took that stuff to Goodwill, got my tax receipt, registered it when I got back home. That way I can write that off because tax season is here. I mean, just waiting on them W-2s and the 1099. So, you gotta just wait for it. So I got that. We're good. So when I got back, I was like, okay, now I'm going to hang all of my clothes that are left over. So I hung all that stuff up. That took me another couple hours. Then I started sorting through my nightstand, getting rid of old papers, organizing all the condoms and lube that were just all over the place. Because I mean, listen, I promote safe sex. Hell, I promote sex. So I had to organize the condoms that were all over the place, line up the lube and shit, make sure it's all ready to go for all the penis I'm gonna get in the new year. So did that. Then went through like the shelves in my closet. Then after doing that, I dusted everything. I bought some cleaners and stuff like that, dusted everything in my room. Then I went to my bathroom. My bathroom is connected to my bedroom, so it was natural that I was like, let me clean my bathroom now. So I scrubbed the tub, scrubbed the toilet. I'm talking about the back of the toilet, you know, those little twisty things are. Like I cleaned everything, the light fixtures in the bathroom, wiped down the mirrors, just I Windex, disinfected everything, just spotless clean, cleaned everything in there. Then after that, it's now about 3 or 4 o'clock. I know because I had a fan and a old office chair. I got a new office chair last week. I took it out to the trash can. So we're not supposed to put large items in our trash can. So I had to be real covert about it. So I'm like rolling out there. And the first time I just throw away regular trash. And then I like drive around just to make sure. And I go from a different angle so the leasing office can't see me. Now, because it's Christmas, there's tons of trash out there. Like it looks like a dump yard anyway. So I'm like, what is my shit going to affect this at all? Like it looks terrible right now because Christmas in the entire apartment building, you know, everyone's dumping their trash out. So I was like, fuck it. So I came back around, I pulled it at a different angle, and then I pulled out that office chair and that fan and then put it in that corner. And then as I was driving away, I saw one of the leasing people come out and I was like, did she see me? I just sped off in a different direction, not in the direction of my apartment. And then I drove around and they came back around. I was like, whatever. I got rid of it because that stuff has been sitting here and it's just taking up space. So I was like, okay, let me just get that in that corner. Lord, please don't let anybody in this complex listen to this podcast. They be trying to come for me. I doubt it, but that would be hilarious. But anyway, there's tons of fucking trash out there, so kiss my ass. So there's that. So did that. It was like, yeah, it was about 4:30 actually, because I was trying to get some stuff done before 5. So it was about 4:30 at this time. So I came back. So I was like, okay, let me attack my living room now. So I hit the living room. I decide to move my desk that's in my living room into my bedroom. Because the TV in my bedroom no longer works, I was like, well, I'm not really concerned about these shelves and stuff that are here. So I removed the shelves that were mounted to the wall so my desk could fit right under across from my bed. So I dusted off all the stuff on the desk, like before moving it, the chair, everything, all the books and stuff, dusted everything. Move that into the bedroom, set it up in there. It actually fits perfectly. Now I have this free wall that I've not had access to in quite some time in my living room. So I moved my bookcase that was on the other side over to that wall, and that's where my records are. So I put my records in the shelves. By condensing all the DVDs and stuff, I condensed them into like a couple of the squares. That way I have more space. So I put my vinyl, which was against a wall on another corner, inside of the shelves. And now those are in the shelves. Then I took all my books and put those in the empty parts of the bookcase on the left-hand side. It worked out perfectly. Like I'm so proud of myself that I was able to condense all that space. It was one of those moments like, yes, go me. Dusted everything in there so there's no dust there. Once I did that, moved my couches around just to have a different kind of feel. I like to switch up my living space, so I always kind of feel like a newness, you know? So I switched up my couches. Now they're facing different ways, my table. Then I hit my coffee table. I dusted everything, removed everything from the bottom shelf, reorganized things. Like, I did so much. So by the time I was done with that, it had to be 6:45. So at 6:45, mind you, I started at 10 a.m. give or take. It was like 9:50 a.m. But yeah, 10 a.m. So it's like 6:45 now. Then I hit my kitchen. My kitchen wasn't that bad because I normally clean my kitchen. Like my kitchen stays pretty clean because I'm always cooking and making sure there's nothing in the sinks and stuff like that. So that was kind of an easy setup. Wrapped everything up by about 7:30. That's when I did my final kind of dust. I took a duster and just started dusting all the picture frames. That's another thing. I took a couple of the frames off the wall and then fixed the pictures inside. There were a couple that I didn't tape properly, so they slipped. So I actually opened those up, pushed them back up, taped them back down, dusted everything off. And I was like, cool, now I can finally fucking eat. I didn't really eat a meal yesterday. I was kind of snacking all day. So I went to Chipotle and I got the sofritas, which are amazing there. I get a bowl with the sofritas and the salsa, the fajita vegetables, beans, rice, lettuce, and it's super good, fills me up. Ate that, sat on the couch, watched a little bit of TV, and knocked out. I was dead to the world by about 8:30. Like I was laying here, fell asleep on my couch until about 12 o'clock, woke up, took my contacts out, got in bed. And there's something about sleeping and arriving to your home when it's like spotless clean. There's something about it because when you wake up to the spotless ass house, you sleep better, you feel better, it's less tense because a cluttered space means a cluttered mind, and I didn't want to go into a new year with a cluttered mind. And then also when you leave and come back and it looks good, it smells good, you got the scents going, it's like, my clean ass spot. So I'm feeling really, really good about that. I think that's a great way to end the year and begin a new one. And that pushes me into resolutions. So I think resolutions, they're good and bad. They're good because it's good that people are reflecting on the year that they had and also having a vision for what they want to achieve in the next year. The bad part is when people don't follow through with these said resolutions, which is so popular. People love to wait until January 2nd because no one's doing shit on January 1st except chilling and eating barbecue or doing whatever they do, eating black eyed peas, whatever you do. January 2nd is when life hits you again, you have to start again. But the problem is people don't commit to what they said they're going to commit to in the new year. What I believe is take the time at the end of the year to reflect on your year and yes, come up with some things that you want to change, but do them immediately. I'm not talking January 2nd. I'm talking December 27th, December 28th. Whenever you say this is what I'm going to do it immediately because you're in a consciousness that says you want change. So change immediately. Execute immediately. Do not wait for a date to do it. Do it when you think about it. So it's good that you've gotten to this place that you're thinking about what's coming up and what you want to do with your life and how you want to be better. But yeah, you can do it right then and there. Start. And that's kind of how I look at things. Everything that I've done has been because I've done it immediately, whether it's veganism, whether it's yoga, it's because I'm not saying, on January 2nd, I'm going to do this. No, I'm going to start now. For example, I wanted a clean apartment. I did that December 26th. I didn't wait till the 31st. I didn't wait till the 1st. It's done. And now I can relax knowing that it's done. So my resolution, well, before I move into that, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to talk about 2017 a little bit. 2017 was an amazing year for me. I have no problem saying that. If it comes across as bragging, I don't care. I had an amazing year, and I don't think it'll have any effect on 2018. I think 2018 will be even better because I've learned how to really maximize my own manifestations and stuff. I learned how to really get things done and do things. This year was awesome for so many reasons. Number one, yoga changed my life. Shout out to Sensei Raven. Yoga really changed a lot for me. It really put me in a space to take control of my mental, to take control of my weight management, to eat better because that pushed me into veganism, which also changed my life. I mean, my glow up was so amazing this year. So 2017 brought that, and I'm super, super, super grateful and thankful for that. On top of that, I got to see The Bodyguard on Broadway. I got to go to Barcelona, the Kimberly Clark situation where I did all their photography and the videography for their event. What else happened this year? Janet Jackson was this year. This was just it was an amazing year. Great friendships, great sex. I had a great year in general. I think the only thing that happened that was negative, the only thing was when I had Merritt, my dog, for a week and he died. That did have its own kind of trauma with it, and I definitely don't want a pet for a while. It was sad, but it definitely got overshadowed by all the great things that happened this year. So, with that said, I want 2018 to be even better. So, I kind of have my own theme for the year, and I'm gonna borrow from Sensei Raven. Sensei Raven has themes every year. Last year for him was the year of no excuses, which 2017 was the year of no excuses. 2018 for him, I believe, is the year of the Phoenix, which is kind of rising again and having a new life. My theme for 2018 is taking responsibility. And what I mean by that is we have to take responsibility for what it is we want out of life. I, for example, have spent too many years feeling like a child or feeling like I have to wait for people to hand me things or give me things. So I want to take responsibility for creating my own opportunities, for taking control of my workload, for working harder and not being lazy. I have an aversion to discomfort. When I'm not enjoying something or something's just not seen as beneficial to me, I tend to not like it. I move away from it. Even when there can be benefits on the other end of it. I don't like working in vain. I don't like feeling like I'm doing things just to do them. And that keeps me from getting other things done. And I also think it keeps me from progressing. I think that I've likely missed opportunities because of that mindset. So going into the new year, and I've already adapted this immediately, I want to take responsibility for what I do. I want to have integrity for anything I put my name on. So I'll give you a prime example. My 9 to 5, it it pays my bills. I don't hate it, but it's not something that I want to do forever. And I've definitely gotten to a point of being numb to urgent situations to the point that I just don't care about certain things. And I had to think about it though. Like I got to a point where I was getting annoyed by my workload. I was tired of what I felt like the company placing all this extra work on me, but they weren't compensating me properly. Like I'm doing all these other people's roles. I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm still making the same wages. And so I got to a point where I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna do what I need to do to keep my job. I'm gonna do the bare minimum. I'm doing my job, so that way I can't get fired for underperformance. I'm performing like I should perform. I'm meeting. And that's just gonna be that until I find something else. But then I had this epiphany, and the epiphany was all about stewardship. And it's just the idea of like, how can someone trust you? I'm talking to myself, and if I'm talking to you, cool too. Like I said, I encourage you as I encourage myself. How can someone trust you, Kevin, with more when you're barely operating with what you've been given? Like, how do you get that role? How do you prove yourself worthy of a bigger role and more money and more responsibility if you are going into the responsibilities you have with this bare minimum attitude? You need to switch it up. Give this shit your best. And that goes into what my mom used to tell me when I was a kid. And I hate that I've kind of lost this in the last couple years because of my own bitterness with my career in corporate America, not with photography, but in corporate America. I've become kind of bitter because I've felt underappreciated. I felt like I wasn't being valued for what I was capable of doing. I'm giving these remedial ass task, and it's like I can do so much more than this. Like I'm degreed, I'm intelligent, I can do more. Why are you only giving me this? But my mom used to tell me growing up, you should give your 100% to anything that you put your name on. She's like, I don't care what it is. If you put your name on it, you need to give your best. And I lost that a little bit because I was bitter and I was upset that I wasn't being paid and I wasn't living the life I wanted to live. I wasn't, you look at what other people are doing. You're not supposed to compare yourself, but you also say, okay, I want more things. I want to travel more. I want to do more. And I can't do this with the salary I'm making. But I'm doing all this work. So I got bitter and I'm like, well, fuck this job. I'm just going to do what I need to do to keep it so I can pay my bills until I find something else. But then I said, wait, how am I making myself irreplaceable though? How am I making myself valued? I need to take all this stuff on, not complain about it, but actually beast the fuck out of it. So I immediately, before I went on vacation, this actually hit me a couple weeks ago. I started adapting that mentality. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna work harder. I'm gonna go beyond what's needed. I'm going to over communicate with people. I'm gonna knock everything that I'm giving out the park and show that not only can I do this, I can do it better than the person who did it before me. I need to show my own value. And yes, I'm not getting paid what I should be paid for this. And I do have issue with that, but I'm not going to allow my integrity to keep me from giving my best work. So that's kind of what I want all of 2018 to look like. And I've already adapted it. So that's going to be in my 9 to 5, but I'm also going to use that in my creative. There's so much in my mind. It's like, you've seen the meme. It's like having a million tabs open on a browser at all times. There's so much that I can be doing that I haven't done because I don't want to work in vain. But forget that. It's time to work. It's time to do all that I want to do in this life because I need to create my own opportunities. I'm not waiting for someone to hand me anything or give me anything. Now it's about integrity. It's about responsibility. It's about doing my best work. So it's no longer about how much I'm getting paid. It's no longer about the likes. It's no longer about the subscriptions. Although I want you guys to keep subscribing. We still want upward movement. But now my work will be to exhaust my full talent. It will be to push my full creativity. It will be to show what I'm really made of. It's not about the accolades yet. Doesn't mean I don't like them. We all need our flowers now. But there's so much that I have to take responsibility for. I need to give my best to everything that I do. And I've already begun working that. In my 9 to 5. Hell, even with me cleaning my apartment yesterday, the details I put into that's not normal. Not for me. I'm kind of okay, it's clean, vacuum, run some Pine Sol, make sure it smells good, make sure the trash is taken out, and I'm usually done. But the amount of detail I gave yesterday to cleaning my place and deep cleaning it was that same mentality of give it your best. Give it your all. You don't need applause for that. You don't need any of that. You need to just give it your best and don't even worry about the rest of the shit. Like, create your own opportunities. And just the satisfaction of knowing I gave something my all is amazing alone. Like, you just have a sense of satisfaction when you lay down at night. Like, productivity is a wonderful gift in itself. And you have to push past your own discomfort. Once again, I talk to you as I talk to myself. I coin myself as lazy all the time, and I know people who watch me say that they don't think I'm lazy because they see all that I do, but there's so much more that I can be doing. And that's where it comes in because of my own aversion to discomfort. But I'm pushing that away. It's time to get out here. It's time to grind. It's time to get work done. It's time to give my best because guess what? I can either work really, really hard now, or I can be in my 50s, 60s, and 70s still working hard and probably harder than I am now because you know how it is, how the job market gets when people get older. They push you right on out. And I see these people working at these jobs that they shouldn't be working at. They should be at home relaxing or retired or whatever. But because we're living a different time where there's no more Social Security and retirement plans are different, it's different. So listen, it's tough for me to work my ass off now because I'll be damned if you're going to have you. I'm not going to be a greeter at your local Walmart. I just can't do it. So it's time to get out and get this money. So I hope that inspires you. I hope you guys have a happy new year. I hope it's all you want it to be. If you're looking to have that New Year's kiss, I hope you get that. If you're looking to be around family, I hope you get that. But take action now. Whatever it is you want in the new year, get it now. If you want to start working out, work out today. Work out right now. Go to the gym right now. Go to the gym after work. You want to eat better? Your next meal, eat better. You want to write more? Write tonight. Whatever it is, start now. Do not wait until 2018. Now is the time. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Have a happy new year. And I will talk to you next week. Peace out.